Welcome back to another episode of Gem Fact Friday, which today we will discuss 3 gem facts about a diamond that you did not know. A couple of days ago, a guy came into the store looking for an engagement ring, and he asked me a question that I hadn't heard in quite a long time. Why are diamonds so expensive? And it got me to thinking, so why are diamonds so expensive? And here's the answers I came up with. One of the reasons why everybody thinks diamonds are so expensive is because everybody says diamonds are rare. This is really a myth. Diamonds are not as rare as you think they are. There are other gemstones in the world that are more rare than a diamond. Give you an example. A pink sapphire is more rare than a diamond. A watermelon tourmaline is more rare than a diamond. So rarity is not what drives the cost up. There's 2 main factors that drive up the cost of a diamond, and it's not rarity. Well, 3 main factors, but 2 here we'll discuss. One of them is the cost of mining, and the other is the cost of cutting that diamond. In other words, diamond mining is very, very expensive. The dump trucks that you use to haul diamond ore from the pit to the conveyor belt can cost upwards of $100 million. A whole diamond mine is what they call a $1 billion industry. So a diamond mine is super expensive to operate. When mining diamonds, you have a bunch of employees, you have lots of insurance, lots of taxes, lots of equipment costs, upkeep on that equipment. Then you have to pay the local, state, and governments for permits and the right to mine that piece of land. So once that diamond ore gets put in that dump truck and taken to the conveyor belt, then it starts a process of what we call sorting and cutting. So in other words, you have to get the diamond away from the rock that it's grown in, and that happens through a conveyor belt sorting process. Then once you get that rock sorted from the diamond uncut stones go to what's called a cutter. And there is a whole process in and of itself. You go through a cutter, and then a polisher, and all these different steps. There's about 8 different steps a diamond goes through, from an uncut stone to one that is actually put into a ring. That process, the people that work there have to have a 7 to 10 year apprenticeship before they're ever allowed to cut or cleave a diamond. In other words, you start off basically as a janitor in a diamond cut studio. Then you go to polishing stones. Then you go to grading stones, and you move all the way up the chain of command until you get to the diamond cutter. The man that puts the first cut in that uncut stone is the highest paid man there, and that helps to push up the cost of a diamond. So just to recap, 2 factors that go into pushing up the price of a diamond is the cost of mining that diamond and the cost of cutting that diamond. And that elevate the cost of all diamonds per carat. Another myth I hear a lot is, so the bigger the stone, the more expensive it is. And that's partially true, but it's not entirely accurate. Yes, diamonds are graded and diamonds' cost are affected by the weight of that stone. In other words, the way we get the cost of that stone is we put it on a scale and multiply it times a factor. Weight times cost per carat equals the cost of that stone. So yes, the more it weighs, price per carat, the more it is. So it's partially true. The more a diamond weighs, the higher it costs. Being that said about cost per weight of a diamond, you can have a half carat diamond that is more expensive than a 2 carat diamond. You all have heard about the 4 C's, and that's the way we grade stones. You've got carat, color, clarity, and cut. And those 4 factors go into determining the cost of that stone per carat. In other words, if you've got an internally flawless D half carat that is well cut and what we call triple X or triple 0, it will be more expensive than a 1.5 carat or even a 2 carat, because it is more rare to find a perfect gemstone. And when I say perfect, without imperfections. It is more rare to find that than it is to find a great big stone with a lot of imperfections in it. Now I'm going to run through those 4 C's very fast here, and hopefully in another video I'll break it down to a more detailed description. Number 1, you've got carat. So that's how we grade the size of a stone. Think of it like pennies in a dollar. If you've got 50 pennies, you've got a half dollar. If you've got 75, you've got 3/4 of a dollar. Same thing with a diamond. If you've got a 50-point diamond, it's a half carat. If you've got a 75-point diamond, it is 3/4 of a carat. And of course, a 100-point diamond is a 1-carat diamond. So that is your carat weight value. The way that translates into money, let's say you've got a half carat, or you've got a cost of $2,000 per carat, and you've got a 50-point diamond, then that is half of that $2,000. So that's a $1,000 stone. Conversely, if you've got a carat weight that you're dealing with that's $500 per stone because of the color and the clarity, then you multiply that times your carat weight, and that gives you the price of that stone. Moving down the line, you go to color. So what does color mean? A diamond color scale goes from D to Z. Now, why didn't it start with A, B, and C? Because back in the 1800s and 1900s, a lot of independent jewelers were using their own scale, and some of them had A, AA, AAA. Some of them had ABC. GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, came up with a system starting with D that nobody else used. D through Z. Your fancy colors are more towards your Z code, and colorless is DEF. As you start with GHI, it starts having a little bit of color to it. It starts having a brown or a yellowish tint. That's how you grade color. DEF is colorless. The further away you get from D and F, the more color it has. Then the closer you get to Z, what we call fancy colors. And they have a different scale altogether. And I hope to do a video on that one day too. So the placement of those inclusions and where they are, and how well we as setters can hide them, is how we grade the clarity of that stone. Real simply, if you have more inclusions, it's graded as a lower clarity stone. You have flawless, which is F, internally flawless, then you go to VVS1, VVS2. So as you go down that scale, you have imperfect 1, 2, and 3. So as you go down that scale, that stone gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper because it has more and more inclusions. Super simple way of thinking about it, but it works. None of these characteristics outweigh the other one. It takes a culmination of all of these characteristics to develop the clarity and cost and the color of that stone. Independently, these characteristics don't mean a whole lot. It takes them all working together, almost like spokes in a wheel, to make a beautiful stone. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm not a fan of the guy, don't know his name, who developed rare carat. I'm not even a fan of buying jewelry online. And this is why. Diamonds are not bought by lab report. You cannot understand the beauty of that stone. I can take a diamond and set it in a way where you cannot see the inclusions unless you look underneath the prong with a 10-power loupe. That's because that inclusion, or that blemish, which is an outside inclusion, is hidden underneath that prong. If you look at a lab report, all you're going to see is a map and a grading system. You're not going to see the beauty of that stone. I have seen 1-carat diamonds have a very high inclusion rate, like an I1 or I2, but be D color, which is colorless. And that thing is beautiful. And I can sell it for $3,000. I have also seen 1-carat diamonds that were almost flawless, VVS 1 and 2, but had an eye color, which made them look horrible. They had a gray shadow to them. The way the world's going now is toward technology and buying online and rare carat and Blue Nile, but you cannot judge the beauty of a diamond online. I don't care if they give you free shipping. It's not free. Somebody's paying to insure that stone back and forth. A diamond is beautiful when it's held in your hand. It doesn't look that great on a screen. And that's my rant. Moving on to myth number 3. Back to the initial question. So why are diamonds so expensive? And it's got to do with many factors. But basically, I can sum it up by this. Marketing. Yes, you heard me correctly. Marketing. Since the beginning of time, and diamonds were found 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, diamonds have been a symbol of wealth, prosperity, and status. If you had diamonds, you had a large status symbol that you were wearing. And it showed people that you were successful. Almost like today a Rolex watch is. What makes a diamond expensive? Believe it or not, there have been enough diamonds mined to give everybody in the world a half to a 1-carat diamond. Diamonds are really not rare. What happened was basically in the 1800s, there was a mine in South Africa called the Kimberlite mine, and it was bought by De Beers because This diamond was found to have the largest deposit of diamonds in any other mine. The company, De Beers, bought it, and they bought all the rights to it. What they did then was warehouse these diamonds and slowly release them to the market so that they could keep the prices at a certain level. Because the price of mining those diamonds was so expensive, they wanted a level playing field, almost like the NADA book value of a car. They wanted a level playing field where diamonds didn't fluctuate because of market demands and supply. After De Beers bought that mine, they began buying up other mines. The Argyle mine, Davidic mine in Canada, different mines like that. And right now, De Beers' grasp on the diamond world is slipping a little bit, but they still control 90% of all diamond mines and diamonds in the world. And what they do is they do marketing for us, for the independent jeweler, or for any other person that deals in diamonds. And you'll remember, they came up with the slogan, "A diamond is forever," or "Take her breath away, render her speechless." De Beers, yes, has a monopoly on the diamond world. But what they're doing is trying to control supply and demand to keep the diamond prices where we need them as independent jewelers to compete in a global market. So let's recap. So the next time somebody asks you, why are diamonds so expensive? You've got 3 different things you can tell them. Price of diamond mining, price of diamond cutting, marketing. Next time someone asks you, why do you think diamonds are so expensive? You can tell them the cost of diamond mining, the cost of diamond cutting, the 4 C's and the way we grade stones, and marketing. De Beers has done a fantastic job keeping diamonds and diamond supply and demand level and constant over 100 years. All right, guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll send them straight to you every chance I get. I try to do one a week, Gem Fact Fridays, and we try to have fun, and I try to teach you things about gems that you might not know. And until next time,